I just wanted to start this off by saying a warm welcome to everybody that's here, to everybody that's just tuning in with me. I just wanted to take a moment to honor you and honor your time because I know that you could be anywhere else on a Saturday morning and you chose to come through and show up for this masterclass. And so I'm really excited to be here with everybody and just kind of sharing like my authentic like story and how I personally have shifted my life through certain tools and just things that I've gone through in my life as before an entrepreneur and as an entrepreneur and just everything that's kind of like depicted my life now with how I correspond and relate to money, my relationship to money, my sorry, I'm getting my ADHD is kicking in, guys, and I'm trying to fix my screen. I apologize. Give me 2 seconds. This is driving me nuts. I don't know what's going on with this screen thing. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to share my screen, babes. So let me know that you guys can see my screen once I share it. Just give me a thumbs up that you guys can see my screen or comment in the chat box, please, because I can't actually see you at this point. So just comment in the chat box that you guys are able to see my screen. Okay, great. All right. ADHD kicking in hard. Okay, we're good now. We're good. Okay, so I wanted to start off with just kind of sharing with you guys, how I personally have healed my deep-seated money trauma and my limiting beliefs with wealth. And honestly, like I feel like money is such a subject that is taboo. And not only taboo, it's almost like sex in a way. Like sex and money have been very taboo subjects for so long, but I feel like it's also these two subjects are what everybody in a way like genuinely I feel like is deeply intrigued by. And love, sex, and money are three things that I absolutely adore. And I love sharing, the magic behind them and how I've personally transformed my own life with these different modalities and tools. So let's get into it, babes. So I just wanted to start off by saying money is not evil and money is not bad. And I feel that it's always, not always, but it was kind of programmed in a way with me growing up that money was kind of, as it was essential because I knew like, how I lived my life with my family. I was not poor. I was not rich. I was probably your average middle class person growing up. But it also was kind of like ingrained in me that you had to work hard to have money. And I actually hated that. I did not like it. I was always kind of like, that artistic soul growing up. I felt a little on the different side, even with my family. Like I guess I always strive to do good as a young kid, to impress my family and to feel that deep self-worth, but I really lacked it. And I will say that money is a necessity, and wealth and abundance deeply corresponds and correlates to our prominent relationship to money, our childhood programming, and our beliefs. And so how I truly shifted my relationship to money was I made a decision, and I said, I'm going to break generational curses and I'm going to get the F out of my own way. And I always knew that there was like something deeper. I mean, I think a lot of my friends growing up, I knew that their parents were either, really well off. They were like doctors or lawyers, or some of them had parents that were just working like full 9 to 5 jobs, maybe at the grocery store or, at an office type job. So I never really, when I was a lot younger, I never really knew more than that because I feel like that's what was programmed into me. Like either you work at a grocery store or like a retail store, or you're like this, like, you have this incredible job where you're making a ton of money, like you're a doctor or you're a lawyer. And I never really, I guess, thought of like, I saw that there was teachers, so I knew being a teacher was a job and things like that. But my mind was just so fixed on like those kind of jobs. But, as I was getting older and older, like, out of like in high school slash past high school, I knew that there was something more to it. And I really, really loved helping people since I can remember. I was the person in high school who would never bully the kids that had, issues. Like I knew there was kids, like there was this one, sorry if this is kind of a ramble with you guys, but I just want you guys to kind of understand like who I am and like where I'm coming from. Um, Me in high school, I was like even more, I think, sensitive than I am now. I think I've really not only healed my money issues, but me as a sensitive soul, as an empath, I've really strengthened my energy, and I've learned how to not let, I guess, everything affect me. But when I was a lot younger, I was overly empathetic. And that sounds crazy to say overly empathetic, but I felt so bad for some of the kids in school. And so I was kind of just always wanted to help people. I really always did. And I never knew exactly what I was going to do though, or how my life was going to change or what path I was going to necessarily take. So we get into this part where I tell you, about my awakening. So I knew like I wanted to live a life of luxury, of wealth, of riches. I was, like I said, not poor. I, lived in a nice apartment complex. My parents did work hard. My dad was an entrepreneur and my mom worked in management. But they still worked really hard. Like they were always, I think, working a lot and exhausted. And I just hated that idea of having to work so much and give so much of my time away for like, pennies. Like I was like, what the fuck is this shit? Like this is ridiculous. Like why why is this the way society is, and even like with law and jobs like that make a lot of money, like being a doctor, like they're still trading so much of their time for that money. So for me it still felt draining. And I was still like, fuck this, like I can't do this. Like what am I going to do with my life? How am I going to be able to support myself or my family? How am I going to make money and be happy without putting so much time into something and like just being drained all the time? So a little bit about my backstory. I worked in restaurants. I worked as a barista several times. I was working in specialty coffee shops. First, I started at Starbucks, and I loved that. I loved serving people. I loved helping people. But there were points in my life where I was super, super low, internally just depressed, dealing with a lot of stuff. Like my self-worth was absolutely out of whack beyond. I was numbing my pain through like drinking and abusing like, substances. I was really struggling to leave an unhealthy relationship. As you can see that picture of me, that was more of like the blood on my mouth, like that was more of like for show. Like it was like an emo type thing. But if you can see the energy, like I just looked so sad. And I was struggling a lot. Money was not always my friend. I actually used to really fear like that I would never be able to make a living on my own. But I really deeply in the heart of hearts, within my heart and within my soul, I just was like, I know I'm gonna do something different. Like I have to. It's just who I am. And so I felt this call to do something different and pursue my own path. I was in theater a little bit when I was in high school. I loved music. So I was always into the arts, but I always had this belief that if you're into the arts, you can't thrive. Like, the whole starving artist thing. That was something that I saw, and I was like, yeah, I guess that's where my life's going to go. I'm just going to be this like artistic soul that, doesn't make money. And I hated that. And so creating abundance and prosperity and fully thriving in my purpose definitely did not happen overnight. Like definitely not. It was a process, but I will say I was always open to learning from other leaders and teachers who I resonated with deeply on an energetic level. And so here we go into more about my journey. A lot of my healing journey began with, me wanting to feel better and me wanting to improve my life. I was tired of being depressed. I was like, okay, I know I have to get out of this relationship, but I'm so addicted to this person. I'm addicted to the sex we're having. I'm addicted to this. It's this karmic entrapment. And I just was like, but I know I have to get out of this because I had to trust my intuition. It's like the divine feminine takes over and your intuition is speaking to you. But I was experimenting with like psychedelics, plant medicine, just holistic and healing and health modalities. So that's where a lot of my healing began. It began in the deep darkness, like in that like deep hole, that deep cave of like just like desperation and wanting to get the fuck out of that draining energy. So basically, like while I was still working as a barista, and in my different jobs, I took quantum leaps and I started investing in different trainings and courses. I was still dealing with some money trauma, though. I will say, like, just being scared to spend money, or like deeply in my heart knowing, I knew, like, if I do this, I know it's going to bring me something positive. Like it's going to help me, within my own healing journey, or it's going to help me learn something that I know could potentially, change my life forever. And so I was always kind of like courageous in that sense, but I was still like resistant. It took a while. Like it took a while before I got my yoga certification. It took a while before I, did these different investments. It wasn't like I did it immediately, but I knew deeply in my heart that I had to. And I remember having like my friends tell me, because I would be teaching, I'd be doing like healing sessions and like classes and like all this stuff, but I wasn't even certified. And it's not like you have to be certified, but I was doing all this stuff as like, I would say, a baby entrepreneur, or giving like a lot of stuff for free and this and that, donations, because I loved it, not because I was like, oh my God, like this is going to be like my life. But I slowly started to like I said, go deeper and deeper into my healing journey, and things just started clicking. And I'm like, wait, I can actually serve people. Like I love helping people. I can serve people, and be abundant as fuck. But this didn't, like I said, happen overnight. It was a process. It was like an alchemization process. So I started investing in myself even when I feared spending money, like legit, guys. And everything I'm sharing, I'm not a doctor. I don't recommend that you take my advice for everything or anything. This is all from my own personal experiences. But as a healer, as a teacher, as a coach, like I do have to tell you, like these are genuine things that have changed my life in so many ways. But let me like actually go back a bit before I get into the good stuff. I want to kind of share a few things that are really personal, really, really personal. My parents ended up kind of, going separate ways. And there was a lot of like family drama and dysfunction in my life growing up. And, they might not be happy that I'm saying it here with all of you guys listening, but hey, it's the truth. I did not have the most functional family, and I love them. I love my family, but still, this is the truth. Okay. And, it was very, very hard, for me to going through some of the things that I went through and just seeing like my family fall apart. And then, there was moments where I was living at my aunt's house. There was moments where I was living in hotels. Like my life was pretty chill, most of it, like growing up, besides the dysfunction in my family. And then there was a moment where things really fell apart, but that's also what pushed me deeper into my journey, and empowered me to like never want to deal with this as an adult, or like, being in my life, being like poor, or like in this poverty, in this lifestyle of poverty. I was like, no fucking way. Like, I can't, I gotta get away from this shit. This is bullshit. And so I started really shifting, immensely into my approach with money, like how I would spend it. Like, honestly, guys, like, I think it's important to have money management and to learn that skill. Like, a lot of people really carelessly spend money without realizing, but you also have to spend it in this like free way. So I learned how to like give money and just know that every time I would spend money, I'm like, this is coming back to me tenfold. But it was about healing my relationship to it. It wasn't necessarily about just like spending money like 24/7 every single day all the time and not caring like about it. It was more about like the appreciation to the money, the appreciation that, the people where it came from, like blessing it, just this whole different approach with like my entire mentality and subconscious beliefs around it. So I discovered the magic and law of attraction, EFT tapping, scripting, affirmations, manifestation, power of belief, and the subconscious mind. And that was a little bit after I started my entrepreneurial journey. In the very, very beginning stages as an entrepreneur, you're kind of like, okay, I'm just going to do this. Like, you don't even know kind of what the fuck you're doing. You're just like, I love this. I'm going to share it. Like you don't even kind of really know, but I started learning a lot of these tools like on my healing journey and on my entrepreneurial journey. And so I did invest in a few different teachers and coaches and certifications and classes and courses throughout the years. And every single time I did, though, it wasn't like just anybody. It was like, I feel it in my heart. I feel that I have to do this. I know I'm going to level up. I know that this is going to bring me something good. I know that this is going to bring me, the healing or the knowledge that I need because I felt it. It's like I said, it's your intuition. It's your divine feminine intuition. And so, the more I started working deeper and deeper on my money issues and I chose me, I chose my divine desires, I chose my dreams, the more freedom I found, the more joy I found. I was more in my purpose and my power, and truly money flowed to me like water. I stopped worrying because as an entrepreneur, it can be an up and down roller coaster, but that's if you don't have, if you still are dealing with a lot of money trauma and money issues, that's typically why. But once you do a lot of that inner work and you continue to do it, because it's not like you're going to do it one time and bam, I'm healed. I'm not going to just do shadow work one time and bam, I'm healed. I'm not just going to do mindset work one day out of the month or a few days out of the month. It's a continuous thing, baby. It's an everyday thing. I can't even say continuous. It's an everyday thing. And I'll never stop because of the freedom I've received and found from it. And that's why I do what I do. That's why I absolutely adore working with women and love helping, women in the online business space, scaling their business, and just thriving in all areas. But that was the thing. Like, I really didn't realize how deep-seated those old programs and beliefs were. But once I started doing all this work, my business was thriving. My health was better than ever. My relationships were thriving. And I was really finding the solace and the abundance that I really, truly always desired. But what did I do? I said yes to me. I said yes to my desires, to my health, to my dreams. This was the beginning of my transformation in my relationship with money and with wealth and abundance and just all of it. Like, it all corresponds even in your personal relationships. So little pictures of, not little pictures, but here's like an actual visual representation, because honestly, guys, energy is everything. And you can see how someone's doing in their face, in their eyes, in their energy, everything. So here's literally, I think I took this picture on the left, 2011 maybe. And I was dealing with deep, deep pain still, a lot of karmic cycles, a lot of trauma still. Like it's not bad to be in that state, but I was just truly in pain and still in that poverty mindset. And then now, like I obviously, as you can tell, it was a huge shift. I'm thriving. I'm abundant as fuck. I'm healthy. I'm empowered. And no, it didn't happen overnight. There's no magic formula. The magic formula is choosing yourself, and it's choosing to, like, it's making the decision that this is for me. I'm going to have a life where I'm empowered, where I'm, things are easy for me. Like I'm choosing to do the work. So shifting from scarcity to abundance, yes, it's a mindset. It's deep subconscious reprogramming. It's not just like the law of attraction techniques. That's one of it. That's one part of it. It's like so much deeper though. It's so much deeper. It's not just doing those little techniques here and there, because you can manifest all day long. You can manifest day and night, but if you're not doing the deep work, the subconscious work, you're not investing in yourself, you're not surrounding yourself with people that empower you, or with friends that empower you, or with teachers that you can really learn from, then yeah, it's a lot more than just those techniques, babes. But for me, it came down to all of that, and then business strategy, because there's a balance of the feminine and the masculine when it comes to everything. We have those energies within all of us. It doesn't matter if you're a male, a female, a they, whatever the fuck, like it's an energy that we have. And sometimes we're out of balance in one and we need more to balance more in the other. But self-love and belief, self-worth, like all of that played a huge role. So just kind of a little bit about my journey. I really went from being this creative soul to still being creative, but I realized, you don't, the belief that you have to work hard. I understand it's ingrained in a lot of us. It really is. And there's a degree where you do have to, put work in, but it's like, even with like witchcraft, which, probably might like freak some people out that I'm saying witchcraft, but even with magic, like, you can't just like do a spell or do a manifestation, whatever, even prayer is magic, you guys. So even if you pray, it's like, you have to put in that real life action. You have to like be taking those, even if it's baby steps, you have to take them every day, or nothing's gonna change. It's just gonna be the same old, same old. It's like wishing upon a star, like, oh, my life, I want it to get better. But are you actually taking the steps every day? Even if it sucks ass, are you actually doing the shit you need to do to get to where you want to be? Because if you believe in yourself and you believe in that vision, and you truly take those steps, I promise you, babes, you can have all of it, like whatever the fuck your heart desires, so long that we're not hurting others, and we're, yeah. So that's kind of what I wanted to share with you. But I'm trying to think if there's anything else that wants to flow through. So some of the things about me, I don't know if I even introduced myself. I feel so bad because I don't think I did, but I go by Davina Serpentine. That is my spiritual dragon name. And I really do love this work, because not only did it genuinely shift my life forevermore, now I help so many women, and so many people do this in their lives, because it is just something I'm so passionate about. Like seeing women thrive in the online space, like doesn't matter what your craft is, doesn't matter what your product is or services are, and it could be anything, my loves, anything. I don't care what it is. You can make it happen. You can shift from broke or broken to thriving, empowered, whole. Like, creating that life will take dedication and daily action steps, but you can do it. And I believe in you as long as you believe in you. So the first step is you got to believe in yourself. So yeah, a little bit about me. These are tools that have truly shaped my life. Like the stuff that I teach women in my courses or in my one-on-one mentorship programs, it's life-changing, and I absolutely believe in it with my whole heart. I think that anybody can live a life of abundance, of untapped magnetic abundance, of wealth, of love, of joy, of peace. It's not going to ever happen overnight, but I do believe that it's accessible to all of us. And yeah, so a lot of shadow work is something that's been a theme also in my life. It's just been crazy. Like I've had a pretty fucking wild life, and I love it. I love it so much, and I'm grateful. And I ended up meeting the love of my life in yoga. And that was beautiful. We ended up having a baby together. And, now I get to do what I love as a mom, as a new mom. He's a little baby toddler. He's the sweetest ever and the wildest, a little bit like me. But I'm grateful as fuck. And I wanted to share with you guys, my little journey on, it's not this crazy long drawn out thing, but just a little bit about how I personally have healed my, my money trauma and my, my limiting beliefs surrounding wealth and like self-worth. A lot of it comes down to self-worth and those belief systems that are so ingrained in us. But yeah, babes, I wanted to say, if you haven't already heard of my program, I Am Goddess, we do start January 21st. It's going to be incredible. We're going to be going through a lot of goddess embodiment, 6 weeks and 6 magical classes together live on Zoom. And we are going to be tapping into the love, sex, and money magic and just these transformational modalities, like I said, that have helped me and have helped a lot of my clients in their life. We'll be tapping into all that. But with that being said, I want to leave us open to questions. If anybody that is here has questions or you guys want to ask me anything, I'm going to just open this space up for questions, just to hear from you guys, and share honestly whatever it is that comes through. So just opening this up now. And I wanted to say thank you for tuning in and being here. And if there's no questions.
Thank you. I have a question. Just dealing with like the oversensitivity and like the empath things, like being overly empathetic, like how did you kind of like move past that? Because that's something that I have dealt with a lot with, like overly hypersensitivity, just caring too much, things like that. Like, how did you balance that?
Yeah. So honestly, I think a lot of it was realizing that I was always giving a lot more, and just realizing like, okay, I need to start giving more to myself and like, like loving myself more and having stronger boundaries. Because what happens is like with empaths, a lot of the times, they attract narcissistic individuals, which, it could be a friend, it could be anyone. It doesn't matter. It could be a person at work, it could be a partner. And so, and I think a lot of the times, if you've grown up with narcissistic parents, it can kind of trickle into you. I've had some narcissistic tendencies as well in the past. Like I said, I wasn't perfect. I was in a toxic relationship, but I was toxic as well. I had issues too. So a lot of that as an empath though, like I had to realize like to keep pouring into me. Like every time I poured back into me, I did the things that empaths like required. Like I would like really just tend to me. Like whatever I needed, I would put myself first, even if that sounds selfish. I really seriously would pour into me more and just honor my needs and honor like my boundaries and my energy levels, because I'm also an introverted extrovert. I'm an INFJ in Myers-Briggs, and I'm a manifesting generator. So I can come off as a very extroverted person, but I need sometimes that downtime. I need to just not talk to people sometimes. I need to just be alone, and just honoring that and honoring my energy was very important. Like boundaries, big time. I'm still working on boundaries too. Like to this day, it's not like it's perfectly healed.
Thank you. That helped a lot. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, because I deal with the same thing, and like it's been like just a struggle, but you're right, pouring into myself, that's the best advice.
Yeah, I mean, it's just my perspective. I'm sure someone else might tell you something else, but that's truly just what has helped me honestly as an empath, and realizing that I don't have to always give so much, because when you overgive, sometimes it's out of like a lack of worthiness. Like you are already worthy, and you don't need to like continue to prove that to someone. I feel like just having stronger boundaries and reminding myself of how powerful I am and that I can, I can genuinely like be sensitive. It's okay to be sensitive too. So reminding yourself like, yeah, it's okay to be sensitive. It's okay to have these big feelings. And that's totally normal. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But we also have to honor like that because we are a little bit more sensitive than other people, that also can play a role into the work that you do too. Like maybe like this is just a random thought, but maybe you really like have healed at some point in your life. You've healed that part of you, or not necessarily healed that part of you, but you've like done so much work that you're at this point in your life where now you're helping other people that are struggling as empaths. There's so much that you can
Yeah.
do, and it's beautiful. And that's what I do. I really love serving others. And it's something that I think a lot of people are stuck in, is that the thought of like, okay, I'm an artist, I'm a new entrepreneur, or I don't have enough talent to make something happen in my life. Like honestly, you guys, some of the wealthiest people didn't even go to fucking school or college, or some people did, a lot of people did, but my thing is freedom. I'm huge on freedom. I'm also an Aquarius, and for me, like sovereignty is so important. I think it's important to realize that, life isn't only about working hard, sleep, eat, repeat. It's like there's so much adventure, there's so much to be lived and explored, and it's just beautiful creating like a community. For me, I love helping women and having like a beautiful community, and growing, just continuing to grow it. And that's the energy of sisterhood and all that is so important to me. It's helped me heal a lot too.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
You're welcome. Is there any other questions from anyone else, or even
I
from
don't I don't have a question, but I just want to say that since the beginning of your story, I resonate with all of it. I've gone
Mhm.
through some trauma as well, and I was a dancer and I was in the party life, and at the same time helping others that were toxic for me. I didn't even realize it. I just wanted to help, but then I realized that the people I was helping was stabbing me in the back and stealing from me. And then that turned around, and I didn't even know I didn't really have that much lack of self-worth. I thought I'm just helping. But then when I get slapped in the face, then I'm like, okay, now I guess I'm not worthy, because look at the appreciation that these people are showing me, and it's no type of appreciation. So beat yourself down and all that. And I got it. And it's just realizing that it's not you, and working on yourself and investing in yourself with mentors and coaches. It really helps you, and it strengthens your your inner self. Like you're knowing the fact that this, it's not me, it's them,
Yeah.
you know. And then when it comes to jobs, working 9 to 5 jobs, when all it's when because I was a barista at my last job, and I got laid off because of the COVID. um I realized at that point, I'm like, no, I'm going to master my mind and my emotions. And I've had mentors on YouTube and IG that I didn't really know personally. And then that's when I ran into Davina on IG, and we got in. Uh, got into some of her courses, and I took an 8-month course with her, and that was amazing. A huge transformation with all the hypnosis and the meditation and the tapping, and realize that I'm a powerful spiritual goddess and a spiritual being. And I thank you for that, Davina.
I do so much. I really do. I seriously am so grateful for every single person that God, source, goddess, creator, creatrix, the universe. I'm so grateful for every person that comes into my path, even the shitty people that I've had a lot of lessons with, to be honest, because that has taught me a lot. But I really am so grateful for you and for everyone. And I've seen so much immense growth in you, Danielle. It blows my mind because, see, this is something that I also love to tell people I work with. It's not just your mentor or the teacher or the person that's working with you, it's not just them. It's, the most transformation is you making that choice and taking those steps and doing the work. Because what happens is when you're doing the work, that's when the most transformation happens. And you are your own healer. Like literally, like the mentor is there to guide you and help you, and maybe help you see things that you couldn't necessarily see on your own. But yeah, you've grown so much, and I'm seriously so freaking proud of you. And I'm so grateful to have you in my life.
I know, I'm so grateful. Every time I say thank you, I feel like I'm going to cry because you have helped me so much. And I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur ever since, I was young. Because I used to sell candy door to door, so I did the door to door sales and had the taste of that financial freedom and making my own money and not having that boss tell me what to do and tell me when to come to work and leave work and when to take your lunch. And even like some of the employees I didn't want to face every single day. So that was the other thing that I've learned for the past couple of years. That's what I'm going to focus on is network marketing. And I'm still having struggle with social media and getting out there and using my throat chakra, but it's going to pass. And once that breaks through, and I have to learn all the editing and all that, but everybody has to learn that. So once that passes, then I know it's going to be endless financial freedom. And it's not even about the money. It's that freedom that you could do whatever you want. You could help whoever you want and be of service to people and help humanity heal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a deep-seated, it's just deep-seated subconscious work. And it's like, it's an everyday thing, babe. And it's also like, this is what I tell like people too. Like when you're an entrepreneur and you're creating like your own like magic, like literally, yeah, it is work. It's not going to be like it's supposed you can turn it into like a part-time thing where you're still making a lot of money and you're doing things where money is coming to you like in always in increasing quantities. And you've worked on the belief part, but yeah, it's going to take work. There's things that are going to be challenging, and that's the truth about entrepreneurship, but it's always about being open to those challenges. Like as an entrepreneur, I'm always learning, and there are challenging times, but that's what helps us grow.
Yeah, and that's what I love about entrepreneurship. It's self-growth. You really get deep into your the core of your dark side and facing it and facing your fears. And instead of fighting against your fears, you have to love your fears, because once you break through your fears, then that's when the magic happens.
Oh, so true.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm so excited. I really am. And I'm so happy to have met you, Siobhan. And I'm so grateful that Danielle was like, call me back real quick. I want to tell my friend about you or whatever. It was super sweet. But I got to get some earrings from you, girl. I love your the stuff that you make is beautiful. But
thank you.
I'm so happy to have had you both here with me, and just it's been really powerful. And if there's anything that I have to say and end this with, it's like never stop believing in yourself and in the dreams that you have. Like whatever that is, keep going. Like for real, keep going and never quit. And there's always room for improvement and growth. But I'm excited. I'm so excited to have you both in the I Am Goddess group program. So Danielle and I worked together one-on-one, not in a group. So this is going to be like different, because she's actually going to be, it's going to be a group setting, but it's going to be so intimate and beautiful. And she actually came to my ceremony when we first met in person a few months back. It was so beautiful. Like no words.
I love it. Yeah, I'm so excited for the course. I've been needing some like healing advice. Like I've been going through things with my ex, just like trauma from my growing up, stuff like that that I've just been trying to work through by myself. But having a group of supportive women, I think that would help so much, and just be able to learn from each other and all of that great stuff, because uh we can be there for each other and support each other, and even for entrepreneurship too, because I have like my little like side businesses, but also like I slack on them because of what I've been going through and things like that.
Definitely, love. Yes, it's going to be super powerful. So yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be so beautiful, and I can't wait. I'm so excited to just have met you as well, and being able to share this with all of you guys is going to be incredible, and it's going to be so much support. And yeah, I have nothing but love and excitement, and it's going to be super beautiful. And I'm excited to also give you all the PDFs that I'm creating. They're almost done. They're not quite done yet, but they're going to be PDFs that you guys will always be able to have with you, so you guys can you'll never basically forget what you've learned, and it's going to be really magical. That's all I can say. It's a surprise, slightly
Yay.
a surprise.
Yeah, give it a surprise.
I mean,
Yeah, we love surprises.
it's basically the different goddesses that we're going to be working with. Like you're going to have a lot of that in the PDFs, but I'm also like doing some extra special stuff, and I just can't wait. Something that I know that every single person has within them is deep purpose and deep creativity. And if they haven't figured that out yet, that's part of their journey. But I think every individual has that. They have deep purpose, and sometimes it's hard to know what it is right off the bat, and it takes time, but I do believe that.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, loves. Well, I wanted to end this with one last thing. So I pulled a card from my Lovers Tarot deck before I did this whole masterclass with all of you guys, and I got the Justice card. And the Justice card is it is so beautiful that this one came up, because what I kind of channeled from it was, this is not necessarily for, if it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But what I'm picking up is, know that this is your year. Know that this is your year. And if you've been feeling like, super just either exhausted, burnt out, or like, when is it going to be my time? Or when will I have justice for all the bullshit that I went through in my life, and the shit that I'm still probably pissed off about? Man, my live didn't save. It's okay. I'm such a dummy. My phone just died, and I felt bad because one of my friends on Instagram was like, please save this. It's okay. She can watch this later. But anyways, babes, I wanted to say that this justice card is really about like a remembrance that justice will be served in whatever aspects in your life. Like if you feel like you still aren't fully over something, or there's like still like trauma that you feel like you haven't processed, like it's gonna be okay, and you're gonna get through it. And just basically know that you're supported, and God has your back. You have many protectors and angels around you. And I don't know, it's kind of what I got from this card.
Thank
I love
you.
it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Much love to both of you. And yeah, if there's anything else you guys want to share, feel free. But if not, I kind of should probably go because my baby is with my mama. So I want to make sure he's doing good.
Yeah, of course.
Thank
It
you.
was so nice meeting you, and so nice with the Zoom. Like I learned so much, and everything you said resonated with me, and like yeah, it's just so interpersonal. So thank you.
You're so welcome. I'm so happy that you and Danielle met, and that we're all connected now, and it's just really beautiful. So I'm grateful to have you here as well, and thank you for being here and taking the time. And same with you, Danielle. Yeah,
Always.
I'm excited though. It's gonna be a freaking bitchin' time though when we all delve into I was gonna say the mastermind, into the group program. It's gonna be so powerful. I haven't done a group program in a while. I've been mostly doing a lot of one-on-one stuff. But I decided like before this year started, I was like, I want to create something really special where I just feel like it's going to help a lot of us women, and just coming together, and the healing behind it, and the power, just all of it. So I'm excited, and I'm sending you guys all lots of love, and I will talk to you both soon.
Okay, enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yeah,
Thanks,
enjoy
babe.
your weekend.
Yeah, you too, Siobhan.
Both of you as
You too,
well.
Danielle.
Take care, loves.
Take
Okay,
care.
Bye.
bye.
Bye.